Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys?
Now it's time for a new age.
What is up, guys? What is up? Dude, when I was making that one video...
Let's go.
...of, the breakdown... What was that again? The Ninaji Rachi Poransu song. I was making a breakdown of that. I deadass recorded like a 2-hour video and my mic was not working and I didn't realize until I was done, and I was like editing and I was like, oh my fucking gosh, it's just like a video of me playing sounds randomly with no voiceover, and I was like, fuck me. I was so pissed. So I just made another one, but you know, I guess it was kind of for the better because I already knew what I was like going through and what to say and stuff. So I don't know, the flow of the video was probably a lot better just because I knew like everything and I got refreshed. You guys check out that video, by the way. Yeah, I think it did. I think the flow is a lot better. I do this thing a lot where I like kind of ramble about something. And I don't know when to stop, but I think it's for the better. It's just for Patreon. My breakdowns are just Patreon only. Also like included a bass. Do you guys like it when I include presets? This song is Everyone Maxwell and
There's more ahead.
Spacey Eddie.
Go and see where it leads.
I thought you guys would like presets. Do you guys use a lot of presets for my shit? I'm like not a huge preset user, but like
Let's go.
if it was like an annoying sound to make, I'll be like, fuck it, you know. A lot of the presets I use are just like leads, you know. I think leads are just annoying to sound design. It's like I already know the sound I want. It's like I don't want to have to fucking, you know, make it again. It's like I'll just grab a preset I made or something. And by this point, I've been making like preset packs for people. I've just done it so much. And I have so many presets that I've made for the people that I just have all of them. And I'm like, yeah, I can just fucking take my own shit. I still needed to take the entire production community by storm with my drums. I need to take it over. It's my one goal in life. I want to be the guy that is like, oh, you're not using Agony drums? Bro, what's wrong with you? Are you stupid? I'm like that guy. I want to have the best drums in the entire community.
Old things have passed away. Behold, the new has come into.
I want to be Kashmir. I mean, kind of. I kind of want to be Kashmir. Fuck, stop playing this. Yeah, it's this song. I kind of want to be Kashmir, I guess, as far as like what people go to for samples. Thing is, like, Kashmir made a big giant pack that is like an everything pack, like everything you could possibly want. You want fucking really niche like Mongolian chants, well there you go, you go to there. So it's like good for like obscure things like that. I don't think his drums are like super amazing though. Like his drums are kind of dated. Here's a few things that I could like use, like I think I use as gongs. Like how can you make a gong? Genuinely, you have to go find a place that has a real gong and then what, pay like $10,000 to use it just once and record it. Like you just need straight up resources and money to even record something like that. And I don't think I could do that, but as far as like just drum samples, I think there's a bigger producer community of like trap producers who fucking they use like drum machines or something for all the drums, and they're like, yeah, this and that and the other thing. And like when the funk boom was happening, when drift funk was a big thing, and Brazilian funk is a big thing now, but the main way people get those sounds is with the drums. Like the drums pretty much carry all the weight. So I mean, you could just have a monopoly on an entire genre. Like if you make the drums for that genre, you have a monopoly over it because everybody's gonna go for your drums over everybody else's. But I want to be like that guy. I want to be the guy that has. I'm the puppet master. I got everybody on strings. But anyways, yeah, it is feedback time. It is Wednesday. It is time for you guys to submit your music. If you haven't already, submit your track. If you are a paid member, you are throwing. You need to submit your track if you're a paid member immediately. Without further ado, though, we can get started. First submission is from Kitsev. K1TSV. Is that how you pronounce it? Alrighty. K1TSV. Oh, there we go. Boom, boom, pow. Kitsu. Okay. Oh, it needs to be turned up. Whoop. There we go. Ooh. I like that fill. Damn, that was cool. I liked it. I feel like it was really inconsistent though. Like you have really cool moments in there that I really enjoy, and then there's some parts where it just doesn't fit, and it just like you need to just make it meld together better. But I'll get more into that using Serum Kilohertz bundle. Always a fave. Self-released, dubstep 6 months. Okay, so you're primarily a metal producer, which explains the metal, I guess. Just general feedback, sure. So, a big thing with EDM, bro. We've been trying to mix EDM and metal for so long, and believe me when I say this, it is really difficult. Like there's a reason why probably our best metal EDM producer, Phase One, like he's only gotten better and better and better over the years. Like it's taken him so long to get to the point he's at because no one else has really done it that well. And I would say he's probably the best person that's doing it right now with his whole Rocktronic thing. I remember like a bunch of producers back then, like way back then, they tried to meld it and it just sounded like fucking Skrillex just imported like guitar samples and made it really shitty. It was like a Cymatics pack or something from 2012. So believe me, I know it's hard to get it right. I think the primary issue with your metal section is your drums are really acoustic sounding, so they don't have a lot of like digital processing. They aren't slammed super hard like a dubstep track would be. The guitars are not as beefy and thick as they could be. The cymbals are pretty quiet overall, I think. Remember, cymbals bring a lot of energy to the mix. They bring a lot of the high brightness that kind of feels like everything's splashing around you. So you need to just bring those up more. The build up just needs work. The basses that you have in the Tear Out drop, just like I said, they need to be more uniform, I guess, with their sound design. Hi, what genre do you review? I review any genre that you produce. So as long as you are the producer of your track, you can send something in. I think the writing of your metal part is good. I think it's fairly well mixed for like a metal section, but it's just difficult to put it into a metal area. Like right here is kind of where it falls apart for me. You're putting a really digital tear out kick kind of in here, and you're not doing anything to blend it or seamlessly transition the metal part into a tear out part. My thing that I do is I just introduce the more digital parts in the metal section. So I'll have like a really digital lead, or I'll bring like some of the really bright tear out crashes or something in the section. Even something like as simple as just layering like a synth over the guitar. Like you probably don't think of it like this, but your guitar is kind of like a dubstep bass. If you think about it like a dubstep bass, and you can just layer like a sub under it, or like a super solid layer, some wide layer, anything like that, then that automatically makes it beefier and just transition better with the tear out section. The thing is drums as well. Drums are really like acoustic, like I was saying earlier. When you think of tear out drums or just dubstep drums in general, the dubstep drums are already really processed. You don't really get it, but they are processed a lot. Like it's not just a tone and white noise. There's a lot of different things going on. There's layering with other metal drums. There's a lot of EQ work, a lot of saturation. Typically that goes into it. And the transient of those drums are all digital. They're not authentic transients, I guess. They're either white noise or just a really high sine wave, I guess, like a sine wave pitching down kind of transient. It's all of those that make it sound the way it does. So you need to introduce some of that into your metal section. So what can you do? You can probably bring a white noise transient or a transient from like a tear out drum pack and mix it over to make the drums sound a little bit brighter and thicker and crunchier. Your snare is going to be a little bit more difficult because with like tear out drums or dubstep drums in general, the fundamental, the really like doof part of it in metal, that's all reverbed. Like the actual tone of the snare is pretty short. Like it has a really loud peak and it kind of fades out, whatever. The reason why it sounds so thick and big is because there's a shit ton of reverb. Like in the sample itself or whatever you're using for it, there's typically like fucking 3 mics, like a snare bottom, snare top, overhead, and then you probably have like a room mic or something that's spliced with it. So they have like 5 layers on top of that drum. And they're stacking like the fundamental. The fundamental's really, really muddy and messy, but it makes it sound really big and full. I kind of tried to fix this issue with my drums. What I ended up doing is I just made my own tone. I like high passed where the metal drum tone is, and I put my own tone in there, and I think that made it a lot better. But it did sound more digital. So if you're okay with it sounding more digital, which I think you should kind of go towards, you should do that. And don't be afraid to make your drums pop out a lot more and your guitar pop out a lot more. Like you could just saturate it way more. And your build-up needs work because you're not breaking away from this kind of metal part. You're kind of staying in it for some reason. I think you should be putting energy into making it more like a tear out part, like really synthy. But you're going back into this metal section during the build-up, which I think you should redo. Your build-up should start to introduce those synthy aspects of your track, and also build up energy and like solidify the transition from, you know, metal to digital. You should do away with the metal drums. The guitar, you could just freeze and high pass or whatever. I think a really good thing you should add is like a synth ARP or something, so that way you can have like ARP playing in this section. I think you probably do, actually. Yeah, you have an ARP in this section, so just repeat the ARP. Over here, you can make the decay longer or something, and just make it a build-up.
Last motherfucker that you ever.
I'm not really a fan of the kick that you have in this drop. The kick sounds too, I guess, not lasery, but like it doesn't sound like a kick. It sounds like a doo, like a fucking sub drop or pitch bend thing. I want a kick that has a brighter transient that is more acoustic sounding, kind of what you had in the metal section. Like it sounds like a disperser kick. That's what I'm saying. I don't know a better way to word it other than like a disperser kick, but that's just what it sounds like. Your snare sounds fine. I think your snare could be boosted up a little bit more. It could take up a lot more space. People like really fucking crunchy, heavy snares now. Like that's the trending thing. And then my last note is your fills and arrangement is really messy in this tear out drop. So you have about you have about 4 bars here, and you're already going into a major fill. And what makes this a major fill is you're taking away all the digital aspects of it, and then it's like, how long is this again? It's like a 1 bar fill already. So you only had like 3 bars of a drop, and then a 1 bar completely different fill. And so it just needs to be consistent, man. You have the fill, like a 1 bar fill after 4 bars, and then it plays for another 4 bars, and you have like the vocal running over the basses and all that, which is fine. That works. That's okay because you're not changing it completely. But then after the first 8 bars, the next 8 bars, you don't have the fill that you had in that one last bar. So you're breaking continuity there. And it just keeps going. Like it keeps going with these basses, but it also like randomly switches. You are a member, so I have a video about like making drops and how to arrange a drop. I think you should watch that. Yeah, I think they're here. I think they're just on the YouTube chat. The big thing with making drops, you need to have a motif. You need to have an arrangement or a rhythm that repeats, that sticks with the audience, or I guess the listener, since they're not watching it, but sticks with the listener, and it is memorable. The most important thing you want is a memorable drop. Are you on Twitch? Yes, I am on Twitch as well. You want a memorable drop that someone can hum, a really catchy rhythm that solidifies it. That's what you want. Okay, and the other note too, I guess on this one, this will be like my last thing I say, but like this fill right here with all the melodrums, this should be over here. Because it just goes into this breakdown part. That should be the fill for this section, because you're kind of bringing back the acoustic elements and then it mixes into it, and it takes away from the digital parts. That should be where this fill is. This is what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, actually the other thing I was gonna say too, your basses need to be really figured out, because some basses are really big and wide, really sub heavy. The other basses are really bright, like really bright, and have no sub. Some basses have a big scoop in the mids. Some basses don't. They're really mid heavy. When it's also just like they have different loudnesses too. You need to make them sound like they're all uniform. They're all different sounds, sure, different tones, different things, but they need to sound like they're in the same place in like the same song. So it's like your main bass, right? The that's like your main sound that you're establishing early on. So that's the impression the audience has. And then the next sound you have, that one offbeat bass that's really bright and has like no mids, and I can't really tell if there's a sub, it might just be too fast. And you have this scream that is just like it's just like a band pass, like a mid peak, and it's just straight up louder than everything else. Yeah, like this bass right here. That is way too bright. Work on that. Get them sounding like they're similar and that they're part of the same environment. And I mean environment as like, imagine them being played in some like a warehouse or a bedroom or isolated, like whatever. Just make them sound like they're coming from the same place. You want them to be uniform, just like I said. And this part just needs, it's all good sounds that you could use. It just needs to mix a little better and meld together. But the arrangement needs an overhaul on this part. Like, there's nothing memorable over here. There's nothing that's catching my attention. It's just like, it sounds like spamming sounds. That's what you've done over in this section. But overall, like, you have good sounds. You have, your mixing is it's pretty good. You could make your drums a lot louder and make things more intense, and don't be afraid of like layering shit. I think the biggest issue with your track is your arrangement, I guess. Your arrangement could be a lot better, and then your sounds would punch through a lot more. But yeah, thank you for submitting, bro. Hope that helped, and hope that was you learned something from that. Next up we have Havoc with a 0. Oh, check was removed. Sick. All right, well, I guess the next one is Avada. I'm pretty sure Havoc, you like submitted it wrong because it doesn't have like any of the weird numbers up top. So you might just need to resubmit. Welcome, bro.
I hope you're ready for a fight. I hope you're ready for a fight.
6 so far, bro. Ooh. Nice, bro. Fuck. Good shit, bro. There's a thing that pains me about Rhythm is I don't know what like the trendy thing to do with Rhythm is. Time and time again, people who make Rhythm make choices that I would typically disagree with, and you know, I would want more from them. But I don't know. The people who are popular making Rhythm now, like I don't know how a lot of them get popular. I generally don't. If I were to come up to a Rhythm fan and I were to ask them, "What's your favorite producer and why?" they would probably name like a big rhythm artist, and the thing they would say is completely unhelpful. I would ask them like what their favorite song is, and if I asked, could you like hum it, or give me the rhythm, it would be every rhythm song I know of. So I like don't know how to approach feedback with rhythm that well. Just because I like don't know what makes rhythm super liked by like rhythm people. I think a lot of the people who like rhythm gravitate towards like the OG rhythm. Like they want that raw sound. They want kind of like the unmixed kind of raw feeling sound that was prevalent when dubstep first took off. Like people didn't really process their basses that much. And on the other hand, it's like then you have people who put a lot of work into making the rhythm sounds, and it sounds really thick, kind of like this. Like this rhythm sound I like a lot. It's not like those OG sounds, and people like that too. But I don't know those people also like that or the other thing, because I've heard both. I've heard people stick to like the OG stuff, and people stick more to this kind of like modern rhythm sound. So I feel kind of torn giving feedback on it. Again, you're the ultimate artist in deciding what's best. Um, I'm mostly just here to give criticism on what I think could be objectively approved upon. Uh, and that's like mixing, like making a better arrangement, things like that. Like all the stuff I typically give feedback on. Um, the big thing with me with rhythm that I feel like I say so much. When someone says rhythm to me, I say it so much I feel like I'm preaching to the choir or something, or I don't know, like. But every time I say it's too samey, too repetitive. Uh, I just don't know. This bass sounds good. Me personally, I wish there were more variations in it. I wish there were more things going on. And then like the other thing, I have to keep in mind that people kind of play this stuff to be doubled and all that. So it's like I have to think about that. So maybe you don't want to add too much because it kind of ruins the possibility of being played out with a double. Like I I just don't know. I think objectively the mix is good. It's not as stompy as your other mixes. Your kick is really kind of soft and rumbly. Like it hits the really low end, but doesn't feel like it's stompy like your other tracks. Your clap is a lot weaker, but it does take a lot of space up. It's just like kind of missing a lot of highs and crunch, I would say. The two main things. Fuck. The two main things is just changing the bass up. I kind of think of like Deviate, the way he like constantly modulates the bass over time. Like it's straight up just like an envelope that goes down over time. That's how he modulates his basses. He just does like a ton of parameters at once. That and trying to stand out. There's a lot of people that can make rhythm, okay? I would argue, this is really controversial for me to say, I would argue that rhythm is like an easy genre to make, but it's hard to make stand out. So your job as a producer is to say, fuck all these other people that are making the same genre as me. I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna make my sounds really fucking cool. And I'm gonna try something different. It's just a huge risk to do that because you might alienate people who already like you, or like your music, or like the genre, or whatever. This just seems more safe to me. That's really what I'm saying. It just seems more safe, like you're kind of sticking to that crowd of people. Again, though, I think the mixing is fine. It could be a little bit better, sure. Sounds are a bit homogenous. But take it with a grain of salt, man. I like it still. It's just, I feel like it could be better. But nonetheless, yeah, thank you for submitting, bro. And we'll move on to the next one. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Square 4, man. Flashbang 2. Mecha Wolf. Who's been here since the start, or I've just been like a hater of Rhythm? I made that like so many videos about Rhythm. What is that saying? Wife? Wife. Is that like a dog? Like a modern talking. Damn, bro. Well, you submitted this kind of tune last week. The major dangers that I hear in this is just it's too wide. It's really fucking wide. You know what that saying goes, when everybody's super, no one is. Like, it's that thing, but instead of super, it's like wideness, you know? Everything is too fucking wide. Like, the gun base is everywhere. Everything is everywhere. I need some cohesion. I want the base to be like it's in front of me, kind of. Like it's in front of me, but it's loud. It's so fucking loud that I hear reverb from, you know, the surrounding area. Like that's what I want to hear. I want to hear a good balance of it being right in front of me. It's gonna kill me. Like this bass I'm hearing is like a gun. It's gonna fucking shoot me in the forehead and I'm gonna die, kind of thing. And it's like, I don't know, it's missing or something. I don't know. But it's like too fucking wide. It's too fucking wide. Like, am I in a steel ball while it's shooting me? No. It's like, just turn down the wideness just a little bit, okay? The wideness is too much in the low end, especially. I think the highs, you can naturally get away with highs being more wide just because there's more space in the high end. Like, jumping from 1000 hertz to 2000 hertz is really small frequency band wise compared to 100 hertz to 200 hertz. Like, you just simply have more space in the high end to have wideness. So that's the benefit of it being in the high end. But in the low end, it's like those frequencies are going to clash and phase cancel and just feel all weird and muddy. So that's why it's generally, people say, oh, just make the whole low end mono. Just make the whole low end mono. That's how you get a good mix down. And they like don't understand why that is, but you know, repeated information, it works. People are like, oh yeah, it makes my mix down sound so much more thick and big. The reality is it's just too muddy for those frequencies to align well, and like you just don't have space. That's just simply put. I think you can make the sub more prominent. The sub is kind of drowned by all the wideness. I don't know if that's because of the wideness or what, but the sub, just as a fact, it's not hitting as hard as it could. I feel like the energy of your gun is good. It's just a little dry. Like your gun transient is pretty dry, but I do feel the energy. Please layer some stuff over it. If you have some metallic textures or like just get creative with it. Honestly, you can layer anything on top. I believe in you. I trust you. It's in your hands. You took the wheel. Make the transient a little bit more exciting. I want to hear some layers. I want to hear some creativity. Make this bass into a thing. Like if it was a thing, what would it be? what would be making the sound. Like, think of it like that way. Make textures. I want to hear. I wanted something really explosive and just, you know. Really one gun transient, bro. Layer some more. Just a fucking layer, bro. You know what I did for a lot of my drops? I would on my gun base. You probably can't hear a lot, but I have a very, very slight laser perk that goes down like pew, pew. And I have one that goes up. So it's like a band reject, like eon kind of frequency thing. You know, like band reject, yo. One's going up, whoop, one's going down. Ooh. But that makes a cool transient. Like it sounds kind of like a vocal going blah, 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 blah. Ask him. You think Skrillex is hot? Don't ask him that question. It's too dangerous. You don't want to fucking know. Your drums. Dude, I feel like your drums have been of discussion for like every track you've sent. Your drums just has something going on with them, man. It's like they don't technically sound bad, but I can imagine in my brain, like I'm those visual, like, you know, those people who can rotate an apple in their head. I can rotate a snare in my head and, you know, make it up, down, left, right kind of shit. In my mind, I can hear the snare mixed a lot better and the kick mixed a lot better. But I don't know what you're doing to it. The kick has no low end. Why would you do that? Of course, the section I have doesn't play a fucking kick. Yeah, why do you not have any low end? That's just weird. Yeah, something like your snare, man. What is up with the fucking snare? I don't know what the hell is going on with it. It sounds like you have a snare tone and like a clap on top or some shit. Yes, I do like it. I've said a lot of things I like about it in the last time you sent it. I'm just nitpicky about a few of the things. If you look, like I only put 2 things, like it's too wide and too muddy. But I'm interested in how your drums are mixed, because like they just aren't enough for me. Like it's not bad. Like I like it. And there's the wife. Dude, I mean what the fuck? Like what is this? Like what is that saying? It like I don't know. It's such a weird fill, but I don't mind it. I think I said it last time. Like I don't mind it. What the hell is it saying? Like is it saying anything important? The song's called fucking Flashbang. It's not saying flashbang or get. It's not like it just sounds like it's saying wife. Because it's like 5 chords. 5 chords, sure, but what? It's like a vocoder, is it not? Yeah, I know it's supposed to be contrast, but what is it saying? Like cute? You get what? Yeah, it's fine. It works in that context, I guess, but what is it saying? It's a vocoder saying something, and it sounds like it's saying wife. Wife, 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 wife. That's what it sounds like. With the dorp saying, what? What? It's saying drop? Isn't saying anything, but okay, then what did you use to make it? Is it just like the gun base in vocoder? Is that what it is? It straight up sounds like a voice going wife, 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 wife. That's a hilarious coincidence if it's not saying anything. I feel like the idea is there. It just sounds like it's saying wife, and I get confused a little bit. There's like any way you could like make it not say wife. That would be preferable. I think it's a cool idea. Also, I think I kind of thought about it a little bit more with the snare. The snare could have more high end. It sounds really clappy. It sounds like you layered a clap over it. The clap is mixing with the tone of the snare in a bad way. It's not like letting the fundamental really take shape and be loud. It's just kind of layered over it. Maybe fix that. Maybe add some high end. It'll sound better. Or like a tail, maybe. I think it'll work. But I think that's pretty much all I have for you. So thank you for submitting, Mecha Wolf. Huge dub. All right. Now we are going to the free section. So we're gonna do Kaisel. Trying to make into the big leagues. The loving side of King Von. He really was a loving person, wasn't he? Chat.
Drop it.
Ooh. Damn. Hold on. Still typing. Okay. You think that kick sounds good? I see the vision. The vision is there. It sounds like really metallic. But bro, your sound design is really reverby. That could be a plus or it could be a negative. On the plus side, it makes it sound really thick and wide and like you're in a fucking big metallic warehouse or some shit. If it was really dry, it would sound kind of more trappy, and then you have to like make your drums kind of reflect that by making them shorter or snappier or whatever. I think I like the reverby part more. You should just play with the effects a little bit. Like the decay might be too long. The size might be too big or something. I just need some adjusting on the reverb because it is just a little bit messy, especially like a little bit in the low end. Your drums, the reason why I say your drums don't fit is because they are too clean. Your drums are too clean. You have a really, really clean kick transient, and your snare is probably the less cleaner one, but it's comparatively also short, and doesn't sound like big and thick. With this kind of mix, I would either go for like a kick clap or just a clap. And I think a clap would just work. If you had a big tear out clap that went, I think that would just work fine. Like that'd be cool. and maybe to like layer like a small kick transient at the very start, so it has like some meat to the clap, like or something like shit like that. The kick, you should make something that is more reverby. Like I kind of put my own kick in here. I have a kick in here that's like really reverby but thick. I want a kick that sounds like it's just bigger, like just a straight up bigger kick. It's too clean. Kick clap, right? I would say just a clap would work, but like mix a kick transient into it so it sounds snappy and thick. Because a kick or a clap by itself is gonna sound really washy, and that would kind of make it more snappy if you put a transient on there. I'm only doing dubstep trial feedback. No, I can do all genres. Music as a replacement? Maybe. That could work. I have no notes on the sound design because it sounds really fucking sick. It's just a bit messy, that's all. Like the reverb and shit is messy, but dude, it sounds really sick. Obviously the idea isn't completely fleshed out, but what I hear so far, it sounds cool, it sounds unique. That's a big thing. It sounds unique. Like that's the biggest step in getting big in music, is making something unique that isn't established yet. So keep going, make something really fucking big, release it. You'll have Skrillex personally give you a handshake, and definitely not anything else. Haha. Anyways, move on. Thank you Kaizel for submitting. Very sick dubstep. Is that the first dubstep thing you've made, by the way? Like you primarily just like make trap or some weird thing, like a little trap fiend. Bow da 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 chow da 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 bow. I think it'd be cool if you made it into dubstep. And this is Ronin. What you got, buddy? The sub is flipping out. There's like 3 subs in there. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Okay, cool. I'll see ya, Michael Wolf. Okay, aesthetically, it's pretty cool. It sounds like, I'm a samurai, hiya. And you're like, you're in battle or something. Yeah, that's the theme. I get it. The problem is, it is really, really fucking compressed. It sounds like you have OTT, saturation, limiter, compressor, like a fucking, like you looked on YouTube, had to master a song, and you were like, oh, I'm OTT, slam, this, that, doom, bop, beep, bop. I just somehow made it play, but it sounds like you just went through like a really terrible mastering tutorial, your mastering is, I to put it bluntly, man, your mastering is really bad on this. Like your mastering, I think, completely destroyed your song. The reason I'm saying that, your drums are fucking, they're guillotined, man. They have nothing. Your clap can only cut through by being really insanely harsh. Like your clap is, it hurts my ears. Like I was about to turn it down, but I turned down my own system. Your clap doesn't snap or anything. Your kick is just a fucking, I don't even know. Like your kick just doesn't hit at all. It doesn't sound thumpy like a kick would. It just sounds really, really, really saturated and compressed. Your sub also sounds really fucking distorted. I don't know why, but I think a lot of problems are coming from your master. Like if you took the master off, had a raw master and sent to me, I'd probably much more prefer that master than whatever this is. There's also some other things too. Like you're probably over processing your sub like way too much. And you're not thinking about, you know, leaving it clean and letting it cut through the mix naturally. You're like overcompensating. This is a phenomenon I call with like a tunnel vision. Tunnel vision with like sound design. So you like solo an instrument and you don't hear of anything else. You're just hearing the instrument by itself, soloed, nothing around it, no layers, no nothing. And instead of trying to make it sound good in context of everything else, you're soloing it and you're trying to make it sound good by itself. I don't have a master chain, so it's a mixing thing most likely. Well, it could still really clip. Like if your mix is not mastered and it's clipping really, really hard, it'll still clip. Like if it goes above 0 dB, it's going to clip. You have something on your master for sure. Like I don't think it's gonna get distorted without a master. Like you have something on there that's clipping it. And sure, you might not have OTT on there, but I hear like a bunch of compression like everywhere. All my master chains, all of my mastering chains are just like a saturator and a limiter and maybe like an EQ to make some really, really fine adjustments in between. But it's really just a clipper and master, or a clipper and a limiter that does a blunt force work. The G clip's good. It's just probably like distorting everything too much is what I'm saying. I use Newfangled Saturate, and Newfangled Saturation I liked a lot because it doesn't distort and destroy signals. It like does this preserve clipping thing. So like if you have a transient, it's not gonna fucking square it off. It's gonna still leave some softness to it. That's what I like, and it sounds really transparent. Okay, so first things first, try to not make your master clip. It's just way too distorted right now. And the things you don't want to clip the most, okay? Listen very carefully. The things you don't want to clip the most are your drums. Clipping your drums is a death sentence to your mix. Once the drums start distorting, you hear that rounded off. You hear the low end, like the low end has harmonics to the kick. That's not how a kick should sound. A kick is natural and clean. Once you start distorting the kick, the whole mix sounds overblown. So that's really crucial. Make sure it does not oversaturate the kick in the snare. You can have some slight stuff to warm it up, but you don't want to be this clipped. This is insane. The harsh clap could just simply be turned down. I think because the mix is already really loud, you're trying to find a solution to make the clap stand out more. And instead of turning everything down and letting the clap kind of poke through by itself, you just turn the clap to make it more intense. It's just too much. Turn the clap back down, but also turn the master down with it. See how it sounds. And first and foremost, process your basses separately, like in buses and things. That's like an insane cheat code, by the way. Getting all your basses into a bus. Kind of imagine the bus is like a pre-master. You're already compressing everything in that bus to make it like a sausage, really thick. And then the master just compresses everything together like it's a final layer of it. That's a cheat sheet to have a really thick sound without distorting things that you don't want to distort. You don't want your clap distorted. You don't want cymbals distorted. Like you would never want to put saturation on your cymbals, right? Like that's logical. You don't want to do that because why? It would make it really bright and harsh. Like it's very obvious to you, but think of it like that. Like you're distorting your master and you're also distorting your cymbals and things you don't want distorted. So control that. Make the basses the only thing that are distorted if you want that. So that way the drums don't get peaked and whatever the fuck. The clap could also use like a minor EQ, maybe. I like 3K hertz or something. 5K. And the final thing I'm gonna say is your sub is really, really rough. You mainly said you want to like mixing a sound design. I think your sound design, like a tone of it isn't bad. It's pretty messy, sure. But the main thing that makes it sound not good is the sub. The sub is way too distorted. You want the deep low sub. The reason why it's called sub bass is because it's sub frequency, like sub hearing. Like that's what people talk about. Oh, you feel the sub more than you hear it. The reality is you do hear the sub. You can still perceive it, but you also feel it. So you're feeling both. You can feel it in your chest. You feel the ground shake, whatever. You still hear it too. But where it starts getting stripped away is when you distort the sub a lot. When you start distorting a sub, a really clean signal, it's typically like a sine wave that's used as a sub. Once you distort a sine wave, you introduce bright harmonics. Harmonics are multiples of the fundamental. And so let's say your sub is at 50 hertz, right? That's like G or something. So at 50 hertz, it's playing a sine wave, a clean sine wave. That's a sub bass. That's where like you kind of feel the sub playing. When you introduce distortion, saturation, in those things, you are adding extra harmonics, which are basically more sine waves that are multiples of the fundamental. So an example, a sine wave is at 50 hertz, you distort it, then you get a multiple of 2. So the next thing you hear is 100 hertz. So you have 2 waves playing at 50 hertz and 100, and then 150, and then 200 hertz, and then 250, 300, 350, like all the way up, depending on how loud you distort it. With like saturation, I think it's usually like odd harmonics that get distorted. That's why a square wave is all odd harmonics. So it'd be like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So like 50, 150, 300, 450 hertz, and so on. But it takes away the feeling of the sub. Instead of hearing the low rumbling, you're hearing the upper harmonics more and more, and you're taking attention away from the sub, so you don't hear it as loud and prominent. And that's what the problem is here. The sub, you can barely hear the fundamentals of the sub. All you hear is the tone. There is no real sub in this. So look at this and take away all the saturation, try to get the tone by some other way. You can parallel process. You can have a dedicated sub, a sub that has no processing on it, that is just fed into your sound design chain, okay? And your sub would sound really thick then. The other part over here, this is just plainly a mess over here. I don't know what you did over here, but your bass is really, really, really messy. Someone else said it sounds like there's several basses playing here. That's what it sounds like to me as well. It sounds like you have like literally 3 different subs playing over each other and they're all clashing to me. That's what it sounds like. So yeah, you can hear it pretty obviously. So I don't know what you did, but it needs to be fixed. That's just my guess. You have like subs layered over each other. But nonetheless, thank you for submitting. I hope that helps, and let me know if it works for you. Dude, wait, why the fuck did we get so many submissions in that one little feedback sesh? Next up, we have Bliss. I do have 3 separate subs. Jeez, bro. You just want 1 sub. Think of like a sub base as a cowboy. There's not enough space for the both of us. There's no room for the both of us in this town. They're gonna murder each other, bro. You don't want that. Okay. Bliss, what you got? I talked a lot and I didn't take any like water or anything, so my mouth is really fucking dry. What's up, Orca Season? I do dubstep feedback weekly. So join the community, bro. Ugh. I might fucking get up and get like a water. Okay, so this is kind of like an orchestral thing. I think this is like my first orchestral trailer feedback I've ever given. Okay, I'm gonna write things down actually. Just get water, bro. Okay. Yeah, arrangement sounds fine. It sounds generic, but it's not like a bad thing. I don't think people who make like cinematic shit care about if it's generic or not. Like, for the fuck's sake, we've heard like in like every movie that's been released in the past decade, they just take like a really popular pop song and they're just like, let's shit on the song by adding cinematic drums. So I don't think they give a fuck about it being creative or whatever. They just want it to feel impactful and like serious. I feel like it's pretty okay. I think a lot of the drums don't have a lot of weight. It feels like it's kind of high pass, like it's missing a lot of the weight and low end that cinematic drums really have. So it needs to be beefed just a little bit. My primary complaint about this kind of track is it is lacking a theme. And I kind of get why it sounds like this. Like, it's not like you're making this for something specific, right? You're just, I want to generally make an orchestral trailer. So once you have a theme like, oh, I'm making it for a superhero movie or something. Oh, I'm making it for, I don't know, like a Dora the Explorer movie. Like, I don't fucking know. But you just don't have a theme established, so it doesn't sound grounded in anything. It doesn't sound like it's there's going to be a climax or anything intense that's gonna really erupt. It's just, I guess there's a climax, obviously, but that's not what I mean. It's like there's nothing that is tying it to an identity, I guess I'm saying. That's where like the generic part comes in, is it just sounds kind of generic, empty, there's no soul in it. If you were to make this for like a Spider-Man movie in that mind, I think I would be more interested, because you would be playing off of sounds and instruments that would be playing motifs, and motifs is a really important thing. The most popular motif I can think of in like the cinematic universe in movie history is like Star Wars and Harry Potter. Like, there's that really, really, really iconic one that everybody loves. The Harry Potter one. Dun 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 ba, da, dun 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 dun. Like that is one of the best motifs of all time in cinematic history, because just by like playing the first three notes, you're like, oh, I know that fucking shit. That's what this is missing, is like that kind of motif, and that's why I'm kind of explaining this is you just don't have that in mind. Like you're not thinking about it. But if you did have a motif in here, I feel like it would make it a lot better. Another thing. Excuse me. Your drums sound really dry. It might just be like the pack you're using. Honestly, it's really hard to make them sound thick without a good library. Like that's just like a library diff. You're probably using like Cashmere samples, maybe. Also, bring your brass instruments up more. Your brass instruments are like the heaviest instruments that make your track feel like it has the most weight. So just bring those up, and then your song will sound just more epic. Other than that, I think it sounds pretty good. You just need to add a bit more to it and thicken it up, really. And if you want to, if you're feeling spicy, add a motif that sounds cool and memorable. But yeah, still good. For sure. And it says you've been making or trailer music for like 5 years. That's pretty cool. It's like that'd be a fun job. When I was younger, I got a masterclass from the guy Hans Zimmer, who made like the Interstellar theme song, and I like watched that religiously for a long time, and I got really into like making music for trailers. And I was like I don't have $500 to spend on a pack. You know, what's the point? I can't do that. So I said, fuck it. I make dubstep now. Next up we have Barracodas. Okay. I'm gonna get a drink really quick because my throat is like caving in on itself and it sounds like I'm talking through sandpaper, so I'll be really quick. Okay, I'm back. I'm surprised that you also know about the limitations when it comes to producing trailer music. Yeah, dude, like it's really fucking frustrating because all the plugins that people use for that shit like are really expensive, and to make it sound like actually real, bro, you have to hire an entire fucking orchestra. Like it's one of those things that you just can't do by yourself. And you have to like convince people that you're good enough to hire like a bunch of people for that. It's kind of like the movie industry as a whole. Like if you want to make a game or a movie, you need a fuck ton of money. You need to convince like thousands of people that you're gonna write a good idea. It's just so hard. Fuck Contact, bro. Fuck anything orchestral. All of my brain power goes to mixing strings that are panned to right because of realism or some dumb shit like that. Like just have the instrument in the middle in stereo, bro. Like I'm making Death Step over here. These dumb Contact libraries charging upwards of $1,000 for tiny sounding instruments for the sake of realism. I'd rather use 70s Roland sound kits at this point. Fuck these 300 gigabyte libraries. My PC have no storage no more. I have a 4 terabyte external drive SSD dedicated to just libraries, and bro, it is almost full. Their Superior Drummer is the big one I use. Dog, why is it like 400 gigs for one kit? Explain that. For like one pack, 400 fucking gigs. Excuse me? I didn't know drums could take that much fucking space. Like I was like, okay, strings I can kind of get, like, you know, you're recording it from like 5 angle or something and you have like hundreds of recordings of them playing different layers. Like you have 20 recordings maybe of like just a sustain on one note, one fucking note, and there's like 144 notes you could play on the piano. It's like you have to do that same shit 144 times for each single articulation. Like I can get that. Like, okay, that makes sense why they would be so big. But a fucking drum kit? Bro, you just hit the drum and it makes a sound, and you hit the drum a different way, it makes sound. Like, how can it be that fucking big? How? How can that be that fucking big? Yeah, you can submit for free. It's like a form on Patreon. But like, holy shit, why is it so fucking big? I guess it's some stuff. I can't use digital instruments, just can't get over it not being real. Yeah, that's really fair. Thing is, if I had if I had a hard drive, then I need another one as big as that as backup. Yeah. Dude, I'm sure some of you guys have seen like sound design clips, but some people have dedicated their time with Faceplant. Look at like Kiloheart's Twitter. Look at Kiloheart's Twitter, and you'll see them repost like sound design stuff from time to time. There are some people who've gotten really fucking good at Faceplant and just physically modeling. And I mean physically modeling as in they're trying to physically recreate how sound works in just Faceplant, and they get really, really, really close to like organic sounds, like a violin. You guys just seriously look it up. For those that are like complaining about contact libraries being huge, there's people who made entire presets that sound like real pianos, that sound like real strings, brass, anything like that. Like there's people who got so dedicated, and I'm one of them, that they made like a car engine sound. They just made like a raw car, like you can drive it. There's a macro for the rev speed, changing gears, you know, whatever else. They're like trying to sound design a fucking moped engine. So they're getting really, really close at that shit. Bro, once a pack releases, like an official pack that just generates like a pure sound that is not 400 fucking gigs, I think that would probably break the market. But also there's a possibility that people might just not want to use it because it's digital. Might be some fucking purists. Fuck. Okay. Okay, Barracudas. Barracudas. Barracados. Am I saying that right? Am I a bad person? Remember that I got Xenology, which is an old Roland sound kits, and unless I'm doing a violin solo for intro, gets a job done. It's only 2 gigs.
Feel like it's a green light.
Barricados. Okay.
Ready for the breakdown.
Bless you, bro, for using Pro Tools.
Feel like it's a green light. Ready for the breakdown. Ready for the breakdown.
Ooh.
Breakdown. Ready for the breakdown. Ready for the breakdown. Ready for the breakdown. Ready for the breakdown.
Ooh. Dude. Oh, I don't like that. I did not like that panning effect.
I can't take
Holy fucking shit! Holy fuck, that scared the fucking shit out of me. Why was she so loud?
I can't hear your words to
Dude. like what's going on. Ooh. Fuck, bro. Yeah, this is great. Bro, producing for 4.5 years. That's how tall I am. 4.5, baby. Let's go.
It's a green light.
Bro, I was vibing really hard to the drop. And the fucking vocal.
I can't take
Dude, that got me so off guard. Holy shit. I can't take part.
Break down.
You gotta fucking lube me up for that, bro. I can't take it up the ass like that. Okay. So, on a real note, I really like the vibe of this. I'm a huge fan of like drum and bass and breakbeat. Breakbeat is like, I wanna take breakbeat and make it something really cool, but I'm terrible at music, so I can't do that. But dude,
Ready for the break.
fuck, it like makes me want to jump. That's how it feels. I just want to jump to this. Sounds good. But bro, the mixing is a lot of work. I think I know what's going on with the sub bass because I made a short comment on it, but it's pretty obvious now what's going on. Your sub bass is really loud. It's going into a compressor in some way, probably on the master, and the sub bass is so fucking loud that the compressor is like, holy shit, the sub bass coming in. I gotta duck everything down. And so when the sub bass plays, it ducks the entire signal of the track and makes it sound really fucking quiet and lame. And then why the vocal was so loud is because the sub bass cut away, and the compressor's like, oh, well, there's no sub bass, so I'm gonna bring everything back up. And so you get woman jump scare.
I can't
That's a really, really common thing with EDM production is when the sub bass cuts out, suddenly everything is really fucking loud because the sub bass takes up a lot of space. If you look at the sub bass, it is the longest waveform. So it takes up the most space. It's also the most dominant frequency. So lower frequencies naturally are dominant over higher ones. If you take a low end sub and a high end or a high pitch sine wave and distort them together, you are going to hear just the sub. Like if you distort them to a certain point, you won't even hear the sine wave anymore, the higher pitch one at all. It'll just sound like a distorted low end. So it's always more dominant. The low end's always more dominant than the high end. And when it's not clipping, it's just gonna duck. Oh, fuck, dude. I'm talking too much about fucking getting water, but the solution to this is to take away the really harsh compression and to introduce some form of soft clipping or to compress it in a bus instead. That's what you should be doing. So that's more even, and you're kind of breaking it down, because what you're doing right now is you're saying, okay, master, you're gonna take a bunch of these different instruments and find a way to compress it. Good luck. And your master's like, oh, I don't know how to do any of that shit. Instead, have a drum bus, a low end bus. If you have like other low end instruments, have an instrument bus, so like your basses overall, and have a synth bus. That's the way I set up my projects. I have buses for pretty much everything, so I can make it more uniform, and so the master has an easier time digesting it. Like, sorry to be gross, but like you're eating food, you're not just fucking swallowing things whole like a snake. It's like you're chewing it up, you're making it so it's easier for your body to process it. Like it's kind of like that. You're just making it easier for your master chain to digest the signal. That's the way you should think about it. So like soft clipping is a really useful tool for that. The one comment I had is the person sounds really happy over here. Talking about fucking eating snares shit, bro. Yeah, I think you're like writing this in like major or something, because it's going up like a major interval. Ba 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 ba. That sounds happy. And because your drop is mainly atonal, it's not like it's pitching up and down like a lot. You could just write this in a different key, bro. You could use like an Arabic scale, melodic minor. You could do some other cool scale. Phrygian. I use Phrygian a lot. Phrygian's really cool. You did? Oh, it sounds like it's happy over here, man.
Break down. Ready for the
I can't hear.
coldest moment of flow like fever.
I can't hear your words
through the static.
Yeah, it might just be the progression then that you're using, but I feel like the key you're using might just be too happy. What key are you using? Are you using? It sounds like it's just like major, honestly. How do I get rid of this fucking weird bullshit? Oh, there you go.
Ready for the breakdown. Break down. Ready for the break.
Okay.
Breakdown.
The other thing is your clap is really quiet. I think it's pretty simple to fix. You just turn the clap up. So it is in major. Oh, just transpose it to like some other key. Like do melodic minor, Phrygian. Try Phrygian. Phrygian's really cool. That's like the scale that metal bands use. It sounds like really dark, but also you can be melodic with it. That's the important thing.
Ready for the breakdown. Ready for the breakdown. Ready for the breakdown. Ready for the break.
Yeah, I don't like this pan effect here. I think it's really terrible. Just take that out.
Can't hear your words
Through the static.
This one might bust up the rave.
And like I said, make the sub more consistent. I already explained how. Like just make a bus and press them. Really quick thing about mastering. Your mastering chain should be really simple. It should not have like 5 plugins on it. But this is the way I do it. I use a soft clipper first. So if I have any drums that are really peaking or have a really tight transient, it's not going to fuck up the limiter later on because you're just doing a soft clipping. It's just taking the transients away, but still making them really powerful and crisp. It's not making them sound weird. So soft clipper first. It's just doing a little bit of work. It's like shaving just a bit off. They've like kind of getting a haircut. That's what a soft clipper is. Any processing you're going to do in between. So if you're going to do like a really small EQ, you can do it there. Just be careful to make it linear phase if you have a plugin that allows that. Any minor tweaks for like tonal balance, if you like your sub should be a little bit louder overall, you can just tweak it like that. That's what I do sometimes. If my sub is weak, I'll just kind of do that. And last thing you should have in your chain is a transparent limiter. Just to top it off and make the song really come together, kind of glue the signal together. And that's all I have for a master. And I have like other analyzing plugins there, so I can see like how loud the low end is compared to like other tracks or something, how much stereo width I have, just some other just basic shit. And of course, if I am gonna have like filters and stuff, I'll put that before everything. So before the soft clipper and anything, if I have like a high pass or a low pass, I'll put that before. But yeah, that's all the feedback I have for you. So yeah, thank you for submitting, bro. Hope that helped. Next up, we have XX Orca. Oh, why did I copy that? Whoops. There we go. Yeah, in studios, I don't think it represents exactly the sound. I was in a studio once, and granted, it was a rented one, but it's supposed to be sound treated, right? Like you can imagine, it's supposed to be a sound treated room. It sounded completely different when I was hearing on headphones. So I don't know. I usually mix with headphones because I I feel more comfortable with it. I've been producing pretty much all my career with headphones, so I know what sounds good, what makes it sound good. I don't know, it could just be studio being studio things. Unless, yeah, thank you for submitting, man. Holy shit.
Open your eyes.
Thank you, man.
Off the leash.
Ooh.
Breathe.
Ooh, I like that.
Engaging rotary cannon.
Creating rotary cannon.
Target locked.
Cool, bro. I liked the intro. I felt like a proper like introduction with a vibe, environment, everything cool. It feels like a Pacific Rim kind of vibe. I guess that's kind of what this is. Was it like a Gundam, kind of? Yeah, I guess Gundam is pretty on the nose, right? That's basically what Pacific Rim is, like Gundam fighting monsters.
Just breathe.
Okay, some things I hear that are kind of all right. Look at the song title. Yeah, sounds like Mecha Gundam. I don't know. I never like watched Gundam before or any content about Gundam, but maybe I should. The first thing that kind of hit me was this white noise. This is really, really, really noisy, like too much noise. And it sounds like you have a notch in the high end, like and it doesn't sound like it's just on one instrument. It sounds like it's on everything. So on the master, did you like put an EQ on something on the master and just notch the highs? Because it kind of sounds like your entire song is like being put through some kind of filtering, and I don't know how to describe it. This is like the weird shit that I had with Mecha Wolf. I like did a lesson with Mecha Wolf on like mastering, and he ended up doing like some weird thing with like spectral dynamics or something, some like weird obscure plugin that I couldn't tell what it was by ear. I don't think so. I'll check my buses. It sounds like there's definitely some notching happening. One thing that could happen is it could be flanging. If you have two signals that are very, very, very similar, like two white noises layered over each other, and one's delayed just slightly, it'll cause flanging, which means like you'll just hear like a flanger filter effect over it, and that might just be what it is. It can also be because your mastering chain could be the dry wet signal is really flawed. So you might have some flanging there because again, if it's two signals that are extremely similar, you'll hear some form of flanging. That's why with a compressor with like look ahead, if you turn the dry wet down, you'll get major flanging because the wet part of the compressor is delayed. Whatever your look ahead is set to, like 1 millisecond look ahead, it is delaying the signal. It's physically delaying the signal so that it can see ahead. You're kind of like seeing the future almost by 1 millisecond. So it's just delaying the signal by that amount. But if you were to turn the dry and wet down even halfway, you're gonna get flanging because it's a duplicated signal that's over itself, and you're gonna get some weird notching. So there's something that is weird going on if your mix or master. Double check your dry and wet if you have any weird compressors or anything, EQs, anything like that, because there's something happening that I cannot explain. You can really hear it here, by the way. Like, that is really intense. The intro is from an old track that was mixed horribly. I layered more on top of it, so it makes perfect sense. That does make sense, I guess. If you can, just try to minimize the effect of the flanging, because it's pretty damn noticeable. The vocal chops. So in this part, I was thinking, wow, your bass is really mono. I was thinking you could make it a lot wider, add some layering. But then this next part played that kind of changed my mind. I don't know if you're intentionally doing this, but it sounds good. Your bass is in the mids, sure, but the layer on top is this like ARP layer that's going up and down. That's almost completely stereo. So when you mix those two together, it makes the bass sound really full. And this is actually a really good technique that you're implementing. And I don't know if you realize it, but this is a really good execution on your part. It makes it sound really clean, but also really defined, so it's not too messy. I still think the scream bass, the sustain, could be a little bit louder. I'm sorry, the sustain could be wider, is what I mean. So you could make it a little bit more wider. It's not super wide. That's taken away from other things. So you get away with it being just thicker like that. One thing also, your sound design is pretty good. I think it could use a little bit of work because it sounds like there isn't a lot put into the actual sound itself. It's just kind of like your regular sustain. If you take like any sound, like a wavetable or anything, and just sort it with a sub, you're gonna get sustain. I want to hear some more defined tone in the sustain that really make it sound interesting or unique. So find like an FM tone that makes it sound really abrasive or like a harmonic in some way. You could just simply, like literally, you could just get a sine wave, make it play like some chord, put it in the sound design track that you're using, and just mix it in, and then you'll have a really crunchy lead in your bass. Like you're basically doing a cooker bass with another lead. It's a really cool technique you could do. You could also just get like another layer, of course, to make it more melodic or something if you want to go that route, or just make it more grungy. But I feel like you could do more with the sound here, just overall. The color ARP thing, the Subtronics technique, I think it's fine. It just works. So don't really do much about that. The other thing, your drums need to be updated. These are like vengeance level samples, and that means not good. For a long time, vengeance was like the dominant pack that was used in like 2011, 2012, and they were only dominant because they were like the only ones making drums, so people used them a lot. But their drums were not good. They were really bad. I think these drums just you need to replace a sample with something better. So find a better drum pack that sounds clean and more modern, because it just sounds really old school and not good.
Breathe.
Your ARP sounds good in most parts, but right here I don't know. It sounds a little weird here. Shadow samples UK bass pack. Is that like a thing now? Like, is that like a memed on pack? I know Cymatics was really memed on for their terror drums. Like, that was like a uniquely bad pack, I remember. Okay, and everything production wise sounds pretty good. You have a pretty basic composition and arrangement, which isn't a harm or anything. It's just, please note that you are only gonna get so far by using an arrangement like this. So the more creative you are with your arrangement and the way you make your bass and everything, the more of a chance you have of growing and getting the attention of bigger artists. So keep that in mind. It's not a sin or anything. It's just, that's where that's going to lead you. Okay, and the gun basses. Your gun basses just sound like they're fucking kicks. Let's be real. It sounds like you just put a kick over the bass and was like, that's gun bass. Yep. Gun basses are a lot more than just that. There's a reason why Murata, we only got a Murata in like early 2019. Like, they only just figured out how to make a really percussive bass just then. All the percussive basses of the era were really shit. Like, really bad. So everybody just kind of prompted for like yoys and growls and shit to get by, but the turnout is really where like percussive basses started to shine and get good. And just look up some videos on making gun basses. It's not just like a kick drum layered over. I've made a few videos on gun basses if you are interested, but they just need to sound a lot better. It just sounds like another kick, and when the actual kick plays, I get confused. I'm like, is this the kick or is this the gun bass kick? I don't know. Yeah, overall, I think everything was pretty fine. There's some major changes though they could do to make a song way better. The drums are like the big one, and you know, getting the high end under control, I think, is another good one, and also the gun basses. If you just get those sounding a lot better, you'd have a really fucking good song. But yeah, thank you for submitting. Hope that helps, and we're moving on to the last one, if it fucking loads. Is your collab with Murata off now? He's been canceled, bro. And his manager really does not like me. His manager hates me. I don't know what I did. I don't know if I can say anything about it because I don't want to get in trouble. Like, yeah, I'll leave it at that. So I can't say anything. But I tried to talk to him, and he was basically saying he's gonna get a lawyer involved. So I'm very new to this kind of music, so I appreciate someone saying something other than "that's loud." Yeah, a lot of people say they like my feedback because I'm pretty specific about it. So appreciate it. Thank you. You manage yourself better than he, perchance. Not sure what you mean, but it just doesn't like me a lot, and I don't really know why. But it doesn't really matter because Murata's not coming back. At least I don't think so. Like, I'm pretty sure he's done for. But I did on my showcase. I did have like a new version of Pestilence that I made, just because. With Malignant, it's gone. It's dead. There's no way it's coming back unless the manager takes over.
Fate was destined to spare me nothing. The dungeon
Rectents.
had a voice all its own.
Oh. Like a Trampa style drop. Well, where he is. Sounds very like Murata, yeah. I enjoy this. Murder. Murder, murder. Sick. Okay, let's skip that part. What's up, 10 feet? This is pretty damn close to like Murata style. It's like Murata if Trampa lived in his skin. Like, think of that. That's like a scary theme. Okay, so the main thing I'm hearing is like this abundance of really bright high end. This is like the, what would you call, presence? This is the best way to describe it, is like the really, really high end. Like fucking 10k hertz above, like stuff that's like sounding like a sizzle that old people can't hear, otherwise known as like hearing fatigue syndrome. If you have the highs this loud, you probably have hearing damage. I'd be willing to say, like the high end is really loud, man. Like the really, really high end shit. I would be willing to bet you do have hearing damage. Cause that's pretty insane, dude. It sounds like you just got like a high shelf and you just fucking cranked all that shit up. Could be bad mantras. I mean, high end isn't that hard to make. Like it's pretty easy for speakers to play high end. So I don't know if I don't think it would be that. I think it's like straight up he might have hearing damage. That's like way too loud of high end. Yeah, but overall your highs are like too much. I like the drop though, it's pretty good. I think it's also really compressed, so you're over compressing your drop just a bit. You're probably using like some OTT alternative thing. I know Murata, he used a plugin called The King, which is basically just OTT with 6 bands instead of just 3. But it's a little too compressed. Like you're almost getting that good sound, but just a little too much. You're going too far off deep end. By the way, mate, can you rate my remix of Die by My Hand? Sure. I can look it up really quick after this, but I was gonna end the stream. Yeah, another thing is this snare. I think everything is pretty good, but the snare, your snare has no punch. It's just it's just straight up sine wave. Doof, doof. There's no transient, there's no punch. The tail is just really bright high end. I would suggest looking for a different snare, honestly. Your snare just is destroyed. There's like no punch to it at all. You might be using reverb a little too much as well. Reverb kind of drowns out some of the tones of the screams and such. But yeah, overall, pretty good. I liked it. Thank you for submitting, bro. All right. I'll look up your song, Temfiat. Bro, was this one? I just tried, don't hear the snare on that metal part. Ooh. I do like this. Really fucking crazy, bro. That bass. Yeah, fucking sick as hell, man. Good shit. Dude, someone play. Holy fuck. Rot, bro. He's on a marathon. Shit. Yeah, well, good fucking shit, man. It's not, you guys are friends, right? The last guy? Rectens? Yeah, I think I mentioned it. Yeah. All right, well, that's about it for this feedback stream, guys. Thank you so much for coming by and sending your shit. yeah, I do this weekly, so come by next week, 5 p.m. EST, and submit your stuff. The earlier the better. And also, if you are a member, you can submit through the priority feedback stream, and you'll get your shit reviewed first, so you don't have to wait for hours for you to get it reviewed. And also consider looking at my Patreon, my website. My Patreon, I have a bunch of production videos and tutorials. You guys can request any sound design things you want from me. And I also do song breakdowns. So if you want to know how I made a certain sound in a song, just ask for it and I have it there. And yeah, big things coming out soon. My cinema pack is in the demo phase, so I'm just waiting on people to send me their demos, and I'm gonna be launching everything. And it's gonna be really fucking cool. You guys are gonna love it. So far, the reviews of it have been, quote, "This is the best pack I've ever used." So people are really fucking liking it, which I'm so thankful for. But yeah, guys, it's been a great one, and I'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.